Morning all. So what is love? Is it something that you have? Is it something that you do? If it's something that you have, how would you get it? Or if it's something that you do, how would you do it? What do you do? So usually we think about something like love, we usually think of it in the sense of it's a feeling we have. So something we have. It's usually a feeling we have in relation to something else. So something else pleases us and we love it or we like it. That thing makes us feel love. So of course, where this is most obvious is in relationship. So usually love in a relationship is the feeling that you have from what you get from someone else, all the brilliant things that they're giving you and how they make you happy and how they make you feel. Okay, but reasons we won't go into now. If love or relationships are built on that dynamic, it's based on something that we get from someone else, then those relationships usually disintegrate, become dysfunctional, because something other than yourself cannot continually give you what it is you need to make you feel loved. Something can't continuously do that. You can do it for a short time and in fits and starts, but it's not possible because that other thing is an entity of its own and has its own needs, and everyone is different, everyone's needs are different. So if something or someone else is constantly needed to fulfill the needs of another and make them feel loved, then somewhere along the line that'll become unbalanced. So because we think that's what love is, this is why relationships, not just romantic, become dysfunctional, because we continue to seek something we want or need in another. So this thing about what love is, it can only be thought about, or it can only be attempted. It runs parallel to the realization that we're part of something other than ourselves. So if we're in a relationship, that's two entities acting as one. Excuse the cheesy language, it's not supposed to be that, I'm just speaking practically now. So two things that are one. So for that to function, both of those things need what they need to be sustained, to survive, to be happy, or whatever words you want to use. And each one relying on the other for that continually leads to dysfunction eventually. So what love is when you recognise that you're part of something that's bigger than just you, your set of boundaries, and it comes with the recognition that in order for that bigger thing than you to thrive or survive or to carry on, sometimes your needs or wants or desires need to be sacrificed for that bigger thing to function properly. So what love is having that acknowledgement and being prepared to do the opposite of what you've been doing, which is, instead of looking to have whatever it is you need fulfilled by something other than you, it's to forego. It's to forego that. It's to put your needs to one side, your preferences, for the sake of the bigger picture. Now, it's easy to see how that might work in just a relationship with two people, but we're in relationship with not just our partner, we're in relationship with everything. So you can keep widening the boundary of relationship. So if you're in something where there's 5 people or 10 people, or a village or a society or a community, you take it right the way up. The world. There's no denying. You're in relationship with lots of things other than yourself. So love isn't just restricted to your romantic relationship and the feeling that you have from how the other person makes you happy, something that you have. It's an acknowledgement of everything else that you're in relationship to. And when we love, what we're doing is being prepared to put our preferences to one side for the sake of the bigger thing to function. So it can be an impersonal thing. To love, it doesn't have to be directed at a person. And the spiritual journey, the spiritual path, is almost like saying, I'm going to do this on the biggest possible level. So on the biggest possible level, can you love the world or everything around you? And okay, laugh all you want at the cheesiness and how that sounds, but put it in the terms that I just said. Can you love the world in terms of, can you say, I'm prepared to, where possible, for the sake of the bigger picture, the whole, I'm prepared for my needs and preferences not to be met. Now, you can get all sentimental and romantic about that, and people play the, aren't I great at sacrifice, and we can have a laugh about that, and people actually get a self-interested kick from doing that, self-sacrifice, and that's another story. But it's true love in that sense. If we're going to recognise at the beginning of this demonstration that, okay, it's maybe not the best to look for what we need from things outside ourselves. Maybe that's something that we need to have or do ourselves as the starting point. Then that's the best possible way. The best possible way to achieve that state is to apply that to everything. So can you just have that as your default stance, not with any conditions, because that's conditional love as opposed to unconditional love, but just as your default stance. Can you just go, I'm prepared to accept how a lot of the other things outside of me need to function and need to be fulfilled, for the whole thing to work. I'm prepared to put my thing to one side. The answer to that is no, you can't. None of us can. That's not an easy thing to do. We're not trained to be like that. It's not. Sometimes it's not healthy to be like that, and we're not perfect at all. And That's, you know, that's very idealistic, but this is the spiritual journey. This is the path, and not only that, it's being tried and tested as a way to actually achieve the very thing we were looking for in the first place, which is that feeling of contentment which we get from another, that thing that we have and we keep inside our boundary. So it's not something that we keep inside our boundary, it's something that we do, it's something that we extend beyond the boundary of ourselves. But that's the journey, and it's a difficult one. So there you go. Love.